So that was a real like aha moment. For you're 11, you've still got all your senior school to go through. Did you feel this compulsion towards music?
Oh God, yeah. I got thrown out of school for it. Yeah.
Oh, you got thrown out of school for it.
Well, I stopped turning up. Probably been better if I'd stayed and got a little bit more education. Mind you, it hasn't turned out too badly.
Mr. Steve Mack.
Hello.
Steve McIntosh.
Yes.
When did Steve Mack begin? The name.
When did he begin? I think it was sort of late 90s.
Late 90s.
Yeah. I mean, I've been making music longer than that.
Yes.
Because I did a thing in the 90s called the Rhythm Masters.
Yes, of course. Everyone's heard of the Rhythm Masters.
Yeah. So that was we started that, I think we put the first record out in 94.
94. And your first record?
It was called Rock to the Beat by
Right.
RM Project. I was 21.
Yes.
Well, it shows my age now.
But you were also, it does, yeah. But it shows mine that I know you. Before that, you were actually making music from 14. Is that right? 14, 15?
Yeah, about 15 I started. I used to be, I started DJing when I was about 11. So
you were 11?
Yeah, so I got into obsessively buying records, going to record shops every Saturday from like 11 years old.
In Bristol?
No, I wasn't born in Bristol. I was born in Luton. That's Wikipedia.
What? That's so
and
crazy.
It says I was born in 1965, which is not true. It was 72. Oh.
What an insult for you. You can get on there and change that.
Yeah, I know, and I'm just rubbish with stuff like that.
I might do that for you.
It's funny. I was talking to Barry Ashworth about this once, the guy from the Dub Pistols, and his was like we were talking about it at Glastonbury, and he said his Wikipedia put his age that he was like about 70 odd. You know.
And how old is he?
He was, I don't know, I think he's just turned 60 now. So this was, sorry, mate. This was about 6-7 years ago. So
what an insult.
Yeah.
So you're much, much younger than Wikipedia has you.
Yeah. And I'm not from Bristol.
And you're not from Bristol, you're from Luton.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but I don't tell many people that.
Okay.
I just say I'm from Brighton.
Yeah, it is a nicer place, no offence to anybody in Luton. I've got family in Luton, my husband's family. Okay, so what possessed you to begin, doing that at age 11? What sparked an interest straight away?
I was at school. I always loved music anyway, and there was a friend of mine. He had his headphones on. He was dancing erratically, and I was like, "What are you listening to?" And he had it was like a Street Sounds Electro album on.
Right.
And he gave me his headphones. I put it on, and I think it was just heard all these like electro records. So it was like Cybertron, Clear, and records like that. And I was like, wow, this is brilliant. I love this, and I totally fell in love with it. And then I started following it and buying the records. This is about 11 years old. And then I used to listen. There used to be a guy called Mike Allen. He's passed away now. It used to be Radio London, and he used to have this show every Friday night, and it was a ritual to tune in and listen to it. And he was playing all the upfront sort of electro and hip hop music from like most of it was come from New York then, and he was about the only person. Well, there was more people in the UK obviously doing that, but he was the only person that was actually broadcasting it. So it was like a whole new movement, and to be honest, it was kind of the birth of where we are today with the whole house music and techno scene.
Because we're talking about the mid-80s then.
Yes, it was mid-80s, yeah.
And that's really, I mean, for anybody who doesn't know the history of dance music, that really was the very beginning. Of course, it came out, I guess, out of disco, coming out of the disco clubs in places like Chicago, New York, and you can correct me if I'm wrong. Detroit.
It was kind of everything come from disco, and then obviously, then there was like Kraftwerk, the German guys, with doing the electronic thing, which was just so way ahead of its time because that was being done in the 70s. And I actually, when they were all alive still, I went to see them at the Brighton Centre. It must have been about 10 years ago when they were doing their 3D thing, and we were sitting there watching it. I was listening to the records. I was like, this still sounds futuristic now,
Yes.
And this was, you know, music that had been made in the late 70s, early 80s.
And do you think that came out of like is that kind of almost like out of a prog rock kind of vibe? A little.
Well, maybe some of the sounds, but it wasn't played like that because it was played, you know, it's not erratic like keyboard playing.
No.
Like Keith Emerson.
Yes, no. Yes, of course, Keith.
It's more. It was more sequences, so like 1-bar loops, 16 patterns and stuff. Like we're surrounded with machines in this room.
Yeah, we are. And so for, I don't know how much listeners are going to know about music history, but of course, as equipment has developed and as technology developed, so sounds have developed. And you're talking about an era back in the mid 80s where technology was really advancing all the time, coming out of like the 60s into the 70s, and then coming into the 80s and 90s. That was an explosion, wasn't it?
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, it's where sort of the whole electronic music really started, and then there was the sampling side of things.
Yeah.
Where basically, you know, you'd steal little bits of old records and put them together and put beats over the top of them that also been sampled off old records, and just it become an art form. I mean, I think, you know, in the sort of early 90s when we were getting recognised for making these records, you know, people, you know, you get the old fuddy-duddy musicians going, "Oh, you don't make real music, you just..."
Yeah, you did.
And it was like...
You did.
It's like, oh, fuck off. I can say that now. Because,
yes, you can.
Because...
Many of them will be dead, so that's the first reason.
That's good. That's good. No, I'm only joking. But the thing is, what's actually happened is even now, when it comes to like rock and roll bands, you know, guitar bands, everything.
Yeah.
Everything's recorded on computers now.
Yes, it is.
So the whole birth of the electronic thing, it's like, what you saying that? You know, there was, you know, bands like Pink Floyd that were using, you know, like a lot of electronic sounds in their records. You know, a couple of the synthesizers they use, like EMS, I've got one sitting over there, and so
it's a shame. It's a shame the listeners can't see that, the viewers can't see this.
Yeah,
we'll do maybe a little thing at the end.
And even like, you know, like the likes of the Who.
Yeah.
You know, Pete Townsend, he was the same.
Yes.
ARP 2600. I've got one of them on the wall. I've got quite a collection of like old sort of
you really have
synths, and I still use them regularly, and they just sound really good.
Yes.
So I started quite young, and still, what am I now? 53. I'm still doing it.
Still young.
Yeah, it's still young, kind of. It's still got a bit left in me. Yeah.
So that was a real like aha moment for you. And did you feel a kind of compulsion? So you're 11, you're starting, you've still got all your senior school to go through. Did you feel this compulsion towards music?
Oh God, yeah. I got thrown out of school for it. Yeah.
Oh, you got thrown out of school for it?
Well, I stopped turning up.
Because all you wanted to do was do music.
Yeah, I sort of got involved in this recording studio called Monroe Studios. They were based in Barnet, and I just started bunking off school, and I got expelled me in the end because I just never turned up.
How old were you?
15.
15. That's not something to do, kids.
Yeah.
Or is it? Now that's an interesting. I'm gonna actually hold on this point, because
it'd probably been better if I'd stayed and got a little bit more education, to be honest.
Would it? How would it have changed things for you?
I don't know. I think you know, it's good to have knowledge of a lot of things.
It is.
You know, it's good to stay at school, kids. Don't do what I did. Mind you, it hasn't turned out too badly.
No, so that's kind of what I'm interested in. So what I find is with musicians and any creatives, what usually is there's some kind of aha moment where you think, wow, what's this? This is for me. And then that compulsion sticks.
Oh yeah.
And yes, you can go and do other things, but actually it's quite difficult to excel in more than one thing, isn't it? Yeah. I mean, something like this. I think this is the sort of problem now in this day and age. What the kids are seeing now, the kids who want to get into music, everyone's got Instagram accounts now and smartphones. They've got TikTok, Steve.
And all they're seeing is these sort of DJ guys on private jets being flown around everywhere, being looked after. You know, and instead of kind of, you know, where I came from, I got into it for the music. There wasn't such a thing as a famous DJ when I got into it.
No, there wasn't.
It wasn't a thing. It was a total love for the music, and now it seems a bit like the other way. It seems like they're getting into it for the wrong reasons.
Can I ask you about how you think the dance scene has changed? I'm sure you've been asked this question quite a few times, but how do you think the dance music scene has changed in the decades in which you've been involved in it?
Well, that was just one of the reasons why I was just talking about as part of it. You know, don't get me wrong, it's still like really hot people coming through, and like young people that are bloody brilliant, and some people are really into it, but there's just you know, it's just like I was out in the Ibiza last year and going to like the new Universe Club and things like that, and I was just a bit like, do you know what? It's great, and what they've done is amazing, but I don't know. I've just felt that like the people in there just wasn't really my thing. You know what I mean?
Do you remember how? Obviously, you remember how it used to be. Well,
Well, yeah.
half remember because
Yeah.
half remember. It was mental, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was.
I mean, it was
great.
mad times.
Yeah, it was absolutely
In the club.
bonkers.
And now, is it, because I don't go clubbing to Ibiza anymore, I gave that up about 10 years ago, maybe more.
It's still great, and you know, I still love going out there. I love the new 528 club. I really like that, which is the same people as Pikes.
Right, yeah.
And that, but it's got like an old sort of Space Terrace vibe about it.
Has it?
Yeah, it's really lovely. So we played there last summer. It was great. It was just brilliant, and yeah, no, I still love going out there, but it's just a little bit different. I mean, Jesus Christ, what we were getting up to out there back in the day. But there was no nothing being filmed. There was no phones. So
we had cameras, and
24 hours.
And you can see from the photographs
Yeah.
what was going on, can't you? Really. So you've consistently evolved throughout your career. I was listening to some of your recent stuff, your 2025 stuff.
Right,
You've got a little bit of an acid house, well, quite a bit of a acid house vibe.
Yeah.
Going. It's quite pared back, quite compared to some of your.
I went through that a little bit. What it was. I think I sort of rediscovered the sort of 80s Chicago music, and it was the likes of Marshall Jefferson.
Yeah.
Marshall's a very, very good friend of mine, and Marshall comes down here quite a bit, and we work together. We were working on some records together, and the thing is with Marshall, there's so many records he's made, so many hit records as well, that people probably don't realise that it's him. Like, you know, like CC Rogers Someday, and Sterling Void Is Going to Be All Right, and you know, he was behind writing all of these songs, and it's sort of just hanging out with him inspired me to pull the sort of TB303s back out and start making a load of acid music. I've sort of got over that now. Now I'm doing something else at the moment, but I've got a few projects on the go.
Yeah.
Like sort of new stuff, and I've been working on this musical thing, which is finally coming to the stage this year.
Tell us about the musical.
So I also work with a guy called Irvine Welsh, which is he's an author, a quite famous author.
Yes.
He wrote the Trainspotting film book.
Yeah.
He's written a lot of books,
And it was turned into the film Trainspotting.
When we met about 10 years ago, and we've been hanging out. We were just hanging out and got chatting, and I told him I had a studio in town, and so he come down, and we just started working together, and we were working on a spoof project, like where he's pretending to be like a German guy called Klaus Blatter that invented techno, and he's like the pioneer of acid house, and you know, it's like it was sort of aimed at just to piss people off, really, and just like have a bit of fun. And you know, we ended up doing 2 albums of that, and not one of the albums has been released yet because the lockdown happened. But we started doing a live show off the back of it. We did our first gig was 2019. We did Glastonbury. It was our first gig, and we did Berghain in Germany.
Wow.
And we done Corsica in London, and then we had a really good agent, and we had all the festivals set up for 2020 to do this show. Everyone was loving it because it was so funny. And then, of course, you know, the lockdown happened. So we're looking at putting that album out, though, this year and started to get that back on the road. We have booked. We're going to do a live Klaus Blatt set.
So is there spoken word over this as well?
Yeah, it's like he's singing like and rapping in German, but it's in English, but it's like a German accent.
So is this how the label Jack Said What was developed? Because
It was kind of through that.
Was it?
Yeah.
So that's incredible. So
Yeah.
so you're on. Is that album on that label?
I think it will be. Yes. Yeah. It will be.
Because that label's into spoken word. That label kind of champions spoken word dance music. Is that correct?
Well, not really.
Oh.
What
You tell me.
happens with that? It's literally it's a pub across the road, and we're like, what the fuck are we going to call this label? We need a name for it. So I was with Carl Loban, who's one of the partners,
Yes.
DJ Mad Carl.
Yes.
And we came back here,
Yes.
and it was basically this acid house album I'd done, and I'd made this record called Jack Said What, because it was this vocal that I got. I sampled it, and it was just looping, and I think it was just something like saying like 1 2 1 2, but it sounded like Jack Said What.
Yeah.
They went, that's a good name for a label. I went, perfect.
Yeah. Yeah.
So we called it that, and that's how it came about.
Yeah.
Because it's like trying to find names for projects is very, very difficult.
How many projects have you done through your career?
I don't know.
Because I couldn't even get a good handle on that. There's been so many.
Yeah, I've made a lot of records. I've remixed over 400.
You've remixed over 400.
Yeah, for likes of like Amy Winehouse.
Yep.
Jamiroquai.
Yep.
Barry White, James Brown.
Charlotte Church.
Charlotte Church, yes. Yes. Yeah, Charlotte Church. Wow, yeah. Yeah, and then loads of like pop records, loads and loads. And made quite a lot from hits as well.
Yes,
So
yes.
It was a good run.
Okay, so when you're thinking about, so you go back to that little 11-year-old boy who started off with this love of, a particular kind of dance music, to now, that trajectory, could you ever have foreseen how that would have gone?
No, absolutely not. It's like I said, I was just buying records really, and then from them records, I started scratching them, because I used to be a scratch mix DJ. So
Yeah.
I was in the DMC competition. I think the first one when I was 14. That was really my start of it, and then going to the studio at 15 and discovering a sampler was like having 12 pairs of hands, because I could have all these bits of records playing at once in this machine.
Yeah.
Then suddenly I kind of stopped doing that and went over to making records. And and then I haven't stopped since, and it's got to this point, and from that 11-year-old boy buying imported records from the States, now producing like a West End musical.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Bloody nuts.
And how does that happen then? So when one avenue closes, is that a decision you take, or is that sometimes an enforced decision? And then how do you get to go off in the next direction? How do you branch out?
Right. Well, I think it's just you just meet people along the way, and it's connections. Say like where I met Irvine, we just connected, and we've become really, really good friends. And like it was just sort of like ideas wise, we just really got on with each other and had similar ideas. I mean, he's a very, very, very clever man as well. I mean, it's quite mad because he's on all these political shows. As
Yes,
well, like
yes.
Little Krunsberg and stuff, and you're like, bloody
Yes.
hell. It's like one extreme to the other.
Yes.
But yeah, so it was like basically that musical came around. It's Phil McIntyre, and basically they're one of the biggest sort of promoters in London for putting on shows. They do like is it Only Fools and Horses, 40 Towers, Queen,
Right, yeah.
show, and they've been hassling Irving for years. He's like, no, I'm not fucking doing that. It'll be shit. You know what I mean? I'm not doing it. And then when we were working together, he just called me one day. He went, Bud, he goes, I've just come out of this meeting. He goes, how would you feel about doing a Trainspotting musical? Would you be up for it? And I went, yeah, why not? I'd love to. And he put the phone down and thought, fucking hell, it's a bit of a mad one, isn't it? So there, I went to meet him, and then I met Phil McIntyre's team and that, and I think they were a bit unsure about me at first, until me and Irvine actually got in the studio. We wrote the whole thing, and he actually wrote a new script while we were writing the songs in this room.
Did he?
And we stayed in here for 2 weeks until it was done. We were coming in like 6 a.m. and we were just working.
Until what time?
Yeah. It's about 6, 7, 8, 9. It could go on. We've done a few late nights as well. I think the first week we peaked a bit. We got so much done, and we went out and we got really drunk on this Friday night, and then the next day we had to cancel it because we sort of rocked up home about 7 in the morning.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, it was
impressive.
Quite a bad one.
Impressive.
Yeah. And then, but long story short, they came down to have a listen. And, Paul Roberts, which is sort of Phil's right-hand man, he went, I really wasn't expecting that. He went, it's amazing. I went, it's because I've had a career of, like, acid house and techno. And he went, yeah, exactly. Of course I've looked into what you do. He goes,
yes.
And we were worried. He goes, but now we're really happy. And from that, it's taken a few years. There's been a lot of workshops, been a lot of rehearsals.
Yes.
But it's actually it's going to tour the UK first. So it's starting in Edinburgh on October the 19th this year.
This year, brilliant.
Yeah, so I've been most of January I've been working, because now the songs are written, but they were just demo formats. So
yeah.
Now I've got to produce them. But I sort of knew this was coming, so I spent the last 3 months of last year as well in here working on it a lot, and then I've got a little setup at home as well, so I can carry on editing at home.
So I've known you a long time, Steve, and this is, as my impression of you, is this is how you've always been. This level of work, your absolute commitment and dedication to work. Is this what you would say commitment and dedication looks like?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, it's 24/7. You don't stop. I mean, like over Christmas, I took 2 weeks off, and I did stop.
How did you feel doing that?
I felt like I needed it, actually. I've just been to Africa as well.
Oh, yes, I must talk to you about that.
Yeah, because I do some charity work.
But Sierra Leone?
Sierra Leone, yeah.
That's incredible.
Yeah, my third time.
Your third time?
Yeah, that was
Tell us about that charity work.
Well, we go out there and help. There's kids just living there. They live on the streets, and this trip I went down into like the slums, and there's a lot of kids on this drug called Kush. It's basically like what crack was in the 80s in the Bronx. It's this, but it puts sores on their arms and legs, and they end up dying. And
oh my God!
It's horrendous. And on this trip I went down in right into the heart of it, and it's just like the poverty. I've never seen anything like it.
No.
There's kids playing in rubbish, and the rubbish all going into the sea, and they all live on this. And
oh my God!
It's heartbreaking. It really is. So I've been going over there and helping sort of teach these kids music and recording, production and stuff. But I've actually ended up working with quite a lot of them because they've got really good voices. They can sing.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they can sing, rap, dance. So we've done an album. I done 2 trips recording over there. We did an album, and I brought it back and mixed it here. And that's going out for the last night DJ Saved My Life charity.
Right.
But where I was out there this time, I ended up the guys from Morchiba over there.
Oh yeah,
the band,
of course.
Sky and her husband Steve, and their 2 sons as well, Slick and Bobby, which. Slick is he's a drummer for Gorillaz now. Right. And they were being a backup band for one of the African artists out there. So I got to know them, and they're actually putting a gig on in Brixton on, I think it's the 8th of March. It's a fundraiser.
And their tickets still available for that, I wonder?
Yes. I actually haven't got the details, but I'll
we can get those. I can put those up so people can get get involved with that. And is there some way people can get involved with their charity? Last night I DJ Saved My Life.
Absolutely. I'll get you all the links.
I'll get all of that. All of that. Yeah, that would be fantastic. So that's incredible. Is that something, so that kind of charity work, so you said you're in your early 50s now.
Yeah.
Is that something, do you feel that your values have changed somewhat over the years? Is that something you'd have done 20, 30 years ago? Obviously 30 years ago, you wouldn't have the opportunity, but let's say 20 years ago.
Yeah, I mean, your values do change. I mean, I've been quite fortunate that I've ended up doing something I love, and, like managed to stay in it for so long. God knows how, but I have. And, and it just makes you, when you see things like that, it makes you want to help and give something back. And so for me now, I think from the first trip, I knew this was a lifetime commitment for me now.
Right.
It's not something I can just go out there and say goodbye.
No.
I've helped, goodbye. So it's even one of the producer kids I'm out there. We've become really good friends, and we're going to start working remotely together now.
Yeah.
So he's going to record a load of stuff. I can do some stuff here, send it to him.
Yeah.
He can record the artist, send it back. We can start releasing the records and hopefully get them a bit of a living and a career.
Yeah, that's it. So what about musicians here? Like, because there's a lot of information out there now that musicians experience lowered well-being at a much higher rate than the general population.
Yeah.
Are you involved? Do you know anything about any of that here, or you're not involved in that?
Not at the moment. I need to look into that more. I mean, it's tough out there. It's really tough, and I mean, I think I know I was talking about this earlier about, I think that's more the DJ lifestyle, but, the private jets and the blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
And the money and that. But I think what really upsets me, I think it's the bands. You see a lot of bands. I know a few like young bands from Brighton that I've met through BIM here. And especially now the whole Brexit thing, you have to have everyone has to have a work visa for every country you have to go into in Europe. Yes. It's about 250 quid a person.
Yes.
And that'll include the tour managers, stage people, everything. And bands starting out, they can't actually afford to tour now. It's
they can't. What about social media? Do you feel that's made an impact?
Yes.
In a positive or a negative way?
I think a bit of both. Definitely. I mean, definitely positive for getting notes and getting your stuff out there. But that was maybe 15 years ago. But now the lithograms have changed. No one sees your posts unless you're paying shitloads of money.
Yeah.
So it's just people like Facebook and Instagram cleaning up and just rinsing everyone.
They are rinsing everyone.
Even though they're worth billions and billions anyway. Just like let's just take even more money off the poor people.
Sucking up of the wealth.
Yeah, it's terrible out there.
What are some challenges you had to face? Because this kind of stuff wasn't a factor like when you were starting out. So you've had this long career. What are the challenges you faced?
Well, I think where we started out, obviously we were just like, a couple of kids like living on a council estate, trying to get a bit, we were working on a mixer that had to like tape all over it, a DAT machine that had no door on it. We were just like ducking and diving to get bits of equipment to work. We were 21 years old. It's going to London every weekend, bunking the train to go to the clubs so I could hear the music and what was going on.
Yeah.
It was just, we were really living it. But I think, in them times there, we were just, all we were doing was just making records and putting them out. And then, and then one blew up and that was it. It's like a couple of years later, but we really, really worked hard.
So the hard work, but that doesn't sound like that's been a challenge for you, because that just sounds like that's how you are.
Yeah. Yeah. So I suppose I say it was easier back then. Well, the reason it was easier, there wasn't as many people doing it.
Right, that's interesting.
So you would like the promo records that would come out a week were about 200 records. Now with Spotify, they upload 150,000 every day.
Wow. So that is insane.
Yeah.
So not only are people fighting, I mean, I can't do the maths on that, but that's an incredible increase in competition and a massive decrease in income.
Yeah. Oh, it's terrible. Yeah.
So how are we going to keep the music industry even going in that?
I don't know.
It's a big question.
It's fucked.
Yeah, do you think it is?
Yeah. It's totally fucked. I'm sorry for my language as well.
No.
There's no other words for it.
And we haven't even discussed AI.
Oh God. I mean, the AI thing is bloody clever. I mean,
It's insanely clever.
yeah.
You can. I think if you're a very clever musician, I think you can really get a lot out of AI. I think you can use it to your advantage. I think people think that it's something that you can just say, make me a song like this, and it will make you some kind of a song like that. But where it's really advantageous is for people who know, and I want this in this key, and I want this bar to do this, and I want.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, yeah, I've been messing around with it, and it's pretty incredible what you can do.
It's insane.
I think there's a point where people are just pressing a button and generating, and it's like shit. And I think was there some statistics? It was like 50% of the music on Spotify was AI generated music.
It was it already, and writing.
Oh,
but I've
God,
used it sometimes. I've looked at it for writing, but I don't think it does as good a job as I want it to do. So
it's unpredictable. That's the problem with it. I mean, where I've been like using it is like been getting vocal melodies out of it. I'm going, oh shit!
That's a good idea.
And then we just we use it to do that, and then we just work with singers anyways.
Yeah, I've had people do that, give me AI stuff, and they want it in a certain style. And so then as a vocalist, you can actually copy those inflections and that phrasing and almost the tone as well, and it kind of gives a whole new.
It's bonkers. I mean, it's not just music though. It's like the whole AI thing. There's so many jobs going now.
Yeah.
Like my wife's brother is a publicist, and he's just saying, in demand, was a very in demand publicist, and it's just saying now it goes like the work's just disappearing because it's all being taken over by AI.
Yes.
So the job situation, the unemployment thing, is going to rise, and in 5 years' time, God knows where we're going to be. And it's not just music; it's the world.
I think people have to remember, though, that creating music and creating art, creating written work, creating poetry, that's fundamentally human, and it gives us something more. It's not just a way of making money, is it? It's something that you actually almost need on a spiritual soul level, I think, if you're drawn to it.
Absolutely, yeah.
I would say so. I think it's it's like a deep value to it.
But there was some guy, I saw it on the news yesterday, that he'd AI generated all these songs, uploaded them, and then he got all these bots on Spotify to play them, and he made about $10 million. And
are you serious?
yeah, now he's going to jail for it.
He's going to jail for it.
Yeah, but it's like,
that's mental.
Yeah, I know. It's just bonkers.
Okay, so let me give you some quick fire questions. I don't know if these will be quick fire questions.
Right.
What do young musicians need to learn quicker? What's something they really need to grasp hold of quickly if they want to be a success in music?
AI.
Yeah, apart from AI, something that they can do within themselves.
Yeah. Oh God, so it's quite a tough question.
Yeah.
I mean, if it was technically, I would be learning like DAWs, like something like Logic or Pro Tools. So,
yes.
Because that as a musician, it opens you up fully.
Yes, it does.
You could be like a keyboard player, but if you know all that, then your keyboard is turning you into a band.
Yes.
So, I mean, on the other side, on the business side of stuff, that's quite a tough one.
Have they got all the time in the world, or do they need to just get on with it?
Just got to get on with it. And I mean, especially if you're a young band and that as well, or you're a young musician or DJ or whatever, you've got to be out and about. You've got to be talking to people. If you're it's say like that thing. It's like if you're a DJ and you make records but you know your dream is to play in DC10. Just make sure you go to DC10 every Monday, even if you haven't got the money to do it. Just find it somehow and blag it. You know, you've got to be out and about there.
So you're make opportunities and
connect with people. Yeah,
that's the number one thing.
And when these certain people that are running them scenes see you all the time, you get to know them and become their friends.
Yes,
it's a very good way of doing things. That's what I did.
Okay, when you first started, what did success mean to you?
It was getting a record that sort of blew up, that everyone was playing, and that happened after a couple of years. So, you know, it took a couple of hundred tracks before.
Oh, did it?
Yeah. Well,
and I wonder how many hours.
Maybe about 100.
And how many hours a day?
Oh, it's 16 hours a day.
16 hours a day. You heard it here.
Just on it, you know, it was like sleep and wake up and carry on.
Yeah. And what does success mean to you now?
Well, it's a friendship, family.
Oh,
my dog.
My dog's well-being.
Yeah, and you know, and still carrying on doing the music. I mean, I still graft quite a lot. I mean, yeah, in the cold months like January, February, I can't stand them. So I just get up. I come here about 5 in the morning.
God.
And just work.
How many hours of sleep do you need?
About 6.
Oh, only 6? Yeah, I'm hampered. I need 9. What's your most valuable piece of advice?
I probably gave it just to get yourself out there and talk to people, be recognised, and you know, don't be shy. Just be on it. Just be out and about and talk to people. Be respectful.
Be respectful. That's a good one. Yeah. Let me see.
Never cocky.
Predictions for dance music.
Predictions for dance music. Right, something needs to happen. Something needs to change. The problem at the moment is it's so generic. It's so you know what's going to happen in the records is these drum rolls and it kicks in a white noise and it's bollocks. It's you used to go out. I used to go out and I'd go and see certain DJs like. I've always been a fan of like Danny Teneglia, Francois K, and people like this, and they play you records and they just blow your head off, and you're not expecting things, and that's that's what I want to see come back, not this generic stuff that everyone seems to be playing. I think what's really missing and what's needed again is like another super group. That it's been a long time since we had a Chemical Brothers, Daft Punk,
sure,
Underworld, Faithless, them type of bands. There isn't one. Prodigy.
But is that the fault of people that are doing music, or is that the fault of A&R people who are not picking them up?
It could be all them reasons, to be fair. But there's nothing that's really come through that's like, it's that band. A bit like Orbital again, another one. Still going. Maybe because there's no many iconic records as well now, but maybe actually because it's like the whole album thing as well is not so important anymore.
No, it's not.
You used to go buy like an LP, you put it on, you listen to it all the way through.
Yeah.
You'd read the in covers, the back, and who worked on what.
You were very connected to that artist and that group.
And now you don't have that.
Now.
You can just play the records you want to play and you skip through it all and there's nothing to read, and so maybe that's part of the problem. But it'd be nice to see a couple of like good electronic bands again with like album projects, because
Gen Z, there was some research came out just this week actually. Gen Z, they listen to music. They don't connect in that way that we were just talking about. They listen depending on how they feel. They use it as an emotional support. So they might have one song from this person. They might have one song from 1970. They might, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's all over the game.
And it's all over the place. What's the future for Steve Mack?
Future for Steve Mack. I've got a few projects on the go. I'm working with a friend of mine, which we were actually sort of looking at this situation. We've done an album that's quite out there, but it's good dance music, very catchy but very cool as well. So that's a future project. The album's kind of done. It's just a couple of vocals we need to sort out. I I've been working on, obviously this musical project as well, and I've also been working on a techno opera with Irvine as well.
Techno opera?
Yeah, I know.
Oh, that sounds amazing.
We've written an album for it.
Have you?
All the music's written and all the vocals are written, but it's not been pieced together properly yet, and I just haven't had the time.
Wow.
But it's all sitting on the computer in here.
Is it?
I just got to find a couple of weeks just to place it all, and then it start getting vocalists in to record it.
Yeah. That sounds incredible.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Brilliant.
It's been an absolutely fascinating conversation.
Yeah.
I can't believe how much we've covered.
I know.
Your knowledge.
Sorry about the sore throat as well.
Your knowledge on the history of dance music is phenomenal.
Yeah, we look at it really. It's like I've been into it for 40 years.
Yeah.
It's quite a long time.
You've been into it from the beginning.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay, and long may it continue.
Yeah, brilliant.
Mr. Steve Mack, thank you so much.
Thanks for having us.
Want to dive deeper into the whole framework and discover how it can help you reconnect with what matters? Head to wholecoaching.co.uk. And if this conversation resonated with you, hit follow, subscribe, and leave a quick review. It means a lot and helps more people find the podcast, which keeps us going.